Hey guys, imagine standing on the edge of a centuries-old mystery, where every stone turned and every artifact unearthed could rewrite history. Welcome back, treasure hunters. In Season 12, Episode 20 of The Curse of Oak Island, aptly titled, Just Bead It, the Lagina brothers and their dedicated team delve deeper into the enigma that is Oak Island. This episode is a roller coaster of emotions, discoveries, and tantalizing clues that may finally bring us closer to the truth. The episode kicks off with the team focusing their efforts on RP3, a newly excavated shaft in the notorious Money Pit area. Positioned just north of previous shafts RP1 and RP2, RP3 aims to reach the 118-foot depth where the 1861 Shaft 6 tunnel is believed to have collapsed. Historical accounts suggest that treasure hunters in 1861 drilled through two stacked wooden chests at around 110 feet, inadvertently triggering a catastrophic flood. The hope is that RP3 will intersect the debris field from this collapse, potentially leading to the long-sought treasure. As the excavation progresses, the team retrieves substantial wooden beams, likely remnants of the original tunnel. While no definitive treasure is found, Marty Lagina speculates that any valuables may have descended deeper into a natural cavity beneath the Money Pit, known as the Solution Channel. This reinforces the need for further deep excavation and keeps the team's hopes alive. Meanwhile, in the northern section of the swamp, Rick Lagina, Jack Begley, and Gary Drayton explore the area in search of Fred Nolan's legendary wall or dam. Fred, a former Oak Island landowner, claimed to have discovered a man-made barrier in the 1960s, possibly constructed to create the swamp as a hiding place. The team's findings are intriguing. Large, aligned boulders that could be part of a seawall or dam, iron pins and cut timber suggesting deliberate construction, a possible wooden structure matching Fred's descriptions. Surveyor Steve Guptill analyzes the boulder alignment and suggests it could be a deliberate barrier, possibly linked to the La Barrage and the dam, marked on Zena Halpin's 14th century Templar map. If confirmed, this would support theories that the swamp was artificially engineered to conceal treasure. One of the most exciting developments comes from Lot 5, where archaeologist Moya MacDonald discovers another Venetian trade bead, matching previous findings. These beads, dating back to the 17th century or earlier, could indicate European presence on Oak Island before the 1700s. Even more compelling is Judy Ruderbush's research presentation linking the Knights of Malta to Oak Island. She reveals the Knights of Malta, originally the Knights Hospitaller, inherited Templar assets after their 1307 downfall. A button found on Lot 5 closely resembles those worn by Knights of Malta uniforms. Isaac Dasley, a descendant of the Knights of Malta, settled near Oak Island in the 1630s, possibly bringing Templar secrets. These findings suggest that multiple groups, Templars, then the Knights of Malta, may have hidden treasure on Oak Island over centuries. Despite the lack of definitive treasure in RP3, the team remains undeterred. The Money Pit's collapse zone suggests that valuables may lie even deeper, possibly in the Solution Channel, a natural void beneath the pit. Meanwhile, the swamp's structural anomalies and Lot 5's artifacts strengthen the case for deliberate, ancient construction. The Knights of Malta theory adds another layer to Oak Island's enigma, hinting at a multi-generational treasure deposit. With winter approaching, the team faces critical decisions. Should they pursue deeper excavation into the Solution Channel? Is a research trip to Malta warranted to investigate Templar and Knights of Malta connections? Should they continue exploring the swamp's wall? Each path holds the potential for significant breakthroughs, but also the risk of further dead ends. Just Bead It is a pivotal episode that blends archaeology, history, and geology to push the mystery forward. While no chests of gold have emerged, the Knights of Malta connection, swamp structures, and Venetian beads provide fresh leads. As Rick Lagina aptly states, "We've faced days like this before. We just move on. And move on they will. Because the greatest treasure hunt in history is far from over." Now let's dig deeper into what might just be the most thrilling historical twist in years, the potential connection between the Knights of Malta and Oak Island. When Judy Ruderbush stepped Forward with her research. It didn't just raise eyebrows, it electrified the team. For years, the Oak Island mystery has danced around whispers of the Templars, but bringing the Knights of Malta into the equation expands the timeline and the cast of characters. These weren't just religious warriors, they were keepers of secrets, guardians of wealth and custodians of sacred relics. And if they indeed picked up where the Templars left off, could they have brought that legacy across the Atlantic? And that button, that small round artifact found on Lot 5 might look ordinary, but in the world of historical treasure hunting, it's like striking a nerve. Buttons are personal. They speak of uniformed men, of purpose, of presence, and when one closely resembles. The type worn by Knights of Malta centuries ago, found on an island that has long been rumored to host the Templar legacy. Well, that's no coincidence. That's a clue, a potential game changer. It's not proof, not yet. But it adds weight to a story that's becoming harder to ignore. Meanwhile, in the murky depths of the swamp, another story is starting to emerge, one rooted in man-made manipulation. The aligned boulders, cut timbers and iron pins discovered during the team's excavation are not the kind of things you stumble upon naturally. These materials tell a story of design and engineering, of someone with intent trying to shape the land. Whether it was to build a dam, hide an entrance, or control water flow, we can't say for sure. But it was deliberate, and it echoes Fred. Nolan's long-disputed theory that the swamp wasn't always a swamp, it was created, possibly to protect something valuable. Add to that the mysterious La Barrage on Zena Halpin's Templar map, and suddenly, what once seemed like a fringe theory becomes a compelling lead. This could be the smoking gun, the key to proving that the swamp was engineered to mislead, to hide a structure, or perhaps even a vault. And remember, Fred Nolan wasn't just speculating. He spent years surveying this land, mapping anomalies, and insisting that something important lay beneath that soggy ground. Decades later, his ghostly voice echoes through every discovery, and we can't forget the RP3 shaft, possibly the most promising dig site of the season. While treasure hunters of the past often struck wood, not gold, this dig feels different. The team is not just stabbing in the dark, they are strategically targeting known collapse zones and historical tunnel paths. They are trying to intersect history itself. When they pulled up those massive wooden beams, it wasn't just a moment of validation, it was a physical handshake with the past. Those beams could be part of the very tunnels that collapsed back in 1861. That collapse may have buried more than just lumber. Marty's theory about the treasure being swept into a deeper, natural void beneath the shaft, the infamous solution channel, deserves more attention. Oak Island's geological makeup includes these voids, where water and debris can be swallowed and displaced. If that's where the treasure fell, it may explain why no one has found it for over 2 centuries, and it means the team may have to take their dig deeper than ever before, perhaps to depths that have never been reached on the island. The danger, it's immense, but the potential payoff, unmatched. Let's not overlook the Venetian beads. Often dismissed as trinkets or trade goods, these glass beads date back centuries and have a well-documented use in global trade, particularly between Europeans and indigenous populations. But here's the twist. They weren't found randomly, scattered. They were discovered in contexts that suggest intentional placement, possibly ceremonial or perhaps marking a hidden cache. Are they breadcrumbs? Signposts left behind by a secretive order? The mystery intensifies with every new bead unearthed. Season after season, the tapestry of Oak Island grows more intricate. But now we're no longer dealing with just one group, pirates, Templars, or explorers. The evidence suggests a layered history. Perhaps multiple groups over multiple generations all played a part in concealing something of extraordinary value. Maybe the Templars buried it. The Knights of Malta safeguarded it. Later settlers hunted for it. And today, the Laginas chase whispers and shadows, hoping to bring the truth into the light. And as always, the emotional weight of this journey remains. When Rick Lagina looked out over the swamp and said, "I really had high hopes," it wasn't just about that day's dig. It was about a lifetime of belief. That kind of conviction fuels the entire show. It reminds us that Oak Island isn't just about treasure. It's about legacy. It's about proving that myths have roots, that legends are born from facts, and that sometimes history hides in plain sight. So where do we go from here? That's the million-dollar question. Do they dive deeper into the money pit's geological maze? Do they pursue Malta and the archives of the Knights of St. John? Do they finally drain the swamp entirely to unearth what lies beneath? No matter the direction, one thing is certain. Oak Island's story isn't finished. It's evolving. And just maybe, the next episode will bring the moment we've all been waiting for. So stay curious, treasure hunters. The truth might be closer than we think.